Hello, everybody. I'm Mike,
And I'm Maria.
and this is TalkAlley.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, happy Sunday, Maria, and
Happy Sunday.
happy Sunday to everyone, listeners and viewers. Thank you for tuning in
Yes.
to this episode of TalkAlley.
Yeah, Mike. So, how's your week?
Yeah, it's a very changing week for the weather. So, yeah, but
Yeah, it's very, how do you call this? Crazy weather we have
yes,
here in Germany.
it's yesterday was the first day of April, but already the last week, the last week of March was already very changing. So
Yeah.
the April moved a bit forward.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
And it affects the time, right?
A little bit, yeah. Sometimes I have to put down the
No, I
blinds
mean
when I
the
work.
time, like generally, there's like minus one, an hour.
Oh, I think this is during summer. I think June. We will change back to 7 hours difference between
Yes.
Germany and the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it doesn't affect so much the time,
Not so much.
right?
But today here on TalkAlley, we want to also understand what inspires women.
Mhm.
Yes. So how they overcome adversities and rise and rise from it. So it's
Right.
going to be an exciting month also,
Of
Maria.
April, and
Yes.
yesterday was April's Fool's Day.
April's Fool's Day.
First of April. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Were you making some April Fool's jokes?
Not really. There's so many jokes all over the world ready to make another one. we're going through so much already. I don't think there's a bigger prank than that.
So yes, it's going to be an exciting month, and
Yes,
we'll be
yes,
joined
yes.
by a woman who has a strong advocacy,
Mhm.
for art.
For art,
Yes.
for women empowerment, for
Yes.
human rights. So the list goes on.
Yes, but
Yes.
before we introduce her, for collaborations and sponsorship, please drop us a message via our page
Mhm.
or email us at talkalley.original@gmail.com. So yeah. And Maria, of course, this episode is supported by SMDC.
Mhm.
Every single day, SM touches the lives of millions of people through its stores, malls, banks, hotels, and leisure facilities. So now Filipinos can live in style, comfort, and convenience with SM Development Corporation.
A quick dip just outside.
Grocery needs? Just a short stroll.
Coming home just a ride away.
Live closer to the things that matter to you. Premier living within reach at Light 2 Residences from SMDC.
Yes, for inquiries, please contact us here at TalkAlley by sending us a message. You may also email us at talkalley.original@gmail.com for more information. So, listeners and viewers, if you have questions to our guests, please write them in the comments section. And of course, you can now support us by sending us stars. Also, please do follow our page. We also have an Instagram account, TikTok, and YouTube channel. So you can watch more of the shows that you might have missed.
Mhm.
Now,
Right.
our guest.
So our guest for today, of course, Mike, she is based in Berlin.
Mhm.
Yes. And of course, she's a fifth child in a family of 10 children. She's a single mother and a language and cultural mediator at the Berlin-based women organization Ban Ying EV. She studied Bachelor of Interior Design at the University of the Philippines, worked in the commercial industry, moved to Germany in 2009, and started being a freelance artist in 2010. Since 2017, she has been working in the social sector. Through her close contact with the residents of the shelter and the clients of the counseling center, she was inspired to commemorate the women through her art, capturing a part of their story and telling it to the public, hence inspiring and empowering other women to share their immigration stories. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Talk Alley, Miss Crisanta Casey Kagiowa Muniz.
Hello, Casey. Thank you for
Hello.
joining us here today at Talk
Hi,
Alley. Thank you for your
Casey.
time.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
Okay.
Before we go or proceed to our topic, I do want to know, how is the weather at your place right now? You're in the capital of Germany.
Yeah, right. It's sunny today, but I'm not sure if it's cold. I think it's cold, but it's very sunny. As you can see, I'm beside the window now. It's
Constantly raining there.
Wait, no, again, please.
Is it constantly raining there?
No, not really. Yesterday it was like that, but it was not a lot of rain. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How would your family and friends describe you?
That's quite hard to say because I don't really ask them. I don't know. I think most people say I'm friendly because I have a lot of acquaintances and friends so everywhere I go. And yeah, with art. And most people think I'm because I'm a single working mother that I'm strong enough to do that. But of course, I cannot always say that I'm really strong. Not everyone can be perfectly strong. Yeah, I think I'm not. I don't know. Yeah, but I think that's the best I can say. What they tell about me.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
That's great.
Yes. So for the listeners and viewers, we also have placed the socials of Casey in the ticker below. As you see, you can see it running. And of course, we encourage our viewers to drop your or own favorite inspirational
Quotes.
Yeah.
Um, for which we oh no, that's a one inspirational quote. Laugh and the world laughs, cry and you cry alone.
Yeah.
So
So meaning they
you
comment
have
on
to be
questions.
strong and independent and strong will to conquer all the hurdles in life. So
Yes.
that's how it works.
Yes. So Casey, what do you enjoy doing as hobby?
Hobby. Usually when I get up, I immediately listen to music to to wake me up. And
It's
then I also watch a lot of.
music or contemporary? Just-
Actually, it depends on my mood. When I'm really tired and I have to get up, I really listen to metal, like for example from Disturbed, or like for example from Britney Spears, like this Work Bitch. So it really depends, like pop or alternative or sometimes jazz or sometimes meditation. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So, Casey, in 2019, you had an art show entitled First Women Portrait Series. Could you tell us more about it? Or was it the first time that you engage yourself into presenting your art, empowering women? But before you answer that, let's take a short break.
Yes.
First
So
question.
for our commercial, we have here the ticker running, and we're also showing the ads for it. Let me just pull it up here. So for your door-to-door balikbayan cargo service here in Germany, contact the reliable and affordable Filipino business Balikbayan Cargo and Pinoy online store. They deliver to any destination in the Philippines. They're located at Bernhardsvorstrasse 21 in Öhringen, Germany. Email them via welcome at filipino-business.de or just check out their website, filipino-business.de for more information.
So yes, I was reading her bio earlier. In 2010, she became a freelance artist. But in 2019, she had an exhibit for a series, First Women Portrait Series. So was this the first exhibit which you introduced your advocacies for women through art?
Yeah, actually that's right. Because before when I started in 2010, that was just like my own path, my own painting, therapy for myself. But
Yes.
then I started working at Banying. I have what they call this. I have to it was really good to have contact with the women in our counseling center and as well as in the shelter. So I had the opportunity to make portraits, not actually directly portraits, to make art for our organization during our 30th anniversary in 2019. So I thought about something that would really represent the women, that would really reflect them. Not I wanted to remove this this idea about me, always me with my paintings. So I thought about because it's for the organization also. So I thought about doing something for them, and of course while also respecting their privacy and not giving away their identity. So that's why that's the first time I also interviewed the women directly, and each person there on the portraits are real women, and it was really interesting to do that in my artwork also, because it was like also a therapy for me, additionally with the painting. And it also during this time in 2019 that I was also really influenced in my personal life, and that was also the first time that even my colleagues recognized that there was really something changed with me. And that was also the first time I really cut my hair really short. I don't know, they really impressed me, inspired me so much that I wanted also to be like them, like you express yourself no matter what. They are not in this situation where they look at themselves as victims. So I thought that's really important to show others that they are like that, that we don't just look at women, these women coming to us as just victims. So they are more than just that.
Okay, thank you. What activities or images, associations come to mind when you think of women empowerment?
I think specifically since I started it with myself, because I was born and raised in a patriarchal family, and I am the eldest daughter. So as usual, what's expected of you as a woman, as a girl, as a woman, you're not allowed. I did not have my own voice, and that also went on with my relationships. Even when I arrived in Germany, even when I studied at the university where it was already not so conservative, I was still like that. And it was that time that I was really, it's really self empowerment. That you there's nothing that's not nothing's can happen. So I thought nothing's can happen in my life if I don't pull myself out of it. So I thought I was just wasting my time. I needed to do something. That's for me that because I had to have my own voice for about decisions and everything that I really want to happen in my life. So I thought I wanted to do more. They were all just in my thoughts, and I thought I want to bring them to life, my dreams, my visions. So that's why I think it starts with a self-empowerment, because you cannot empower other women if you yourself are still not really there yet.
Yes.
So, you have so many advocacies, right? Women empowerment, human rights. Why is it important for you to apply this through your art?
Oh, so I was quite frustrated during this. It's not really that long. I was just because at work we have different cases, so it's really like I don't really look at them at what they are. I just see them as supporting these women, so I don't really specifically tell which advocacy there is. And I thought because I'm an artist, it's really because I cannot express myself, or like for example, I don't, not like my colleagues who can write or go discuss with other organizations or go to demo or whatever. I thought that's my way of helping them, supporting them, and also empowering them. And it's also a way for myself to empower myself to, because it's a way these some of their stories are also intersecting with my own, because I'm also a migrant woman, and I'm also I also began becoming a single mother here in Germany. And with the support of my colleagues and also of the system here, I was able to overcome that. And I thought it's important that I put these women also out there, because I don't think it's always I think it's important also that they have their own faces and voices, and that's why I really included them there at the start. And then it continued with with the next exhibits, where I really wanted them to be there live. So it's good that there are some women who are really able to come out of it, of their own situations, who really succeeded, and they, even those who are still there along the way, they really also open up and speak up to other people, because I think I find it more important if the woman herself does it, not the journalist or whoever. So it's her own free will, and it's her own voice. Yeah,
That's right. So, Casey, why is it, my daughters are watching right now? So, for as young as a 16-year-old and 18-year-old, why is it necessary to push the boundaries for women in art?
Oh, for women in art, I think
Yes.
because it's not just something aesthetic that you see, it's also a self-expression. And usually, like for me, for example, when I was young, when I was a small girl, I was not really that outgoing person or outspoken, and it was really a way for me to express myself. And if people really sees that or see this, what girls or women show in their paintings, that's a way of expression also. We don't just have to talk or write, we also have to put it in art. It's because every person, every individual is unique. We cannot all do the same things to express ourselves. So it's also, I think it's also empowering for the person itself. Like for me, it took a long time for me also to find this that I it's really the with the art that I was able to heal also, and to find what really helps me express myself. And that way with this art I was also able, through my job, through my work at the NGO, I was also able to express myself in words through the help of my German colleagues, who are really really empowering also, if I compare to my other colleagues in the Philippines before.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. Um, Talking about disadvantages, are there disadvantages of women in the art community? Do you see there any, if ever?
I Yeah, I think so, because I think my art is really just many people see it now because it's connected with my work. But if I just go out there just an artist, it will not really come out. I that's what I think, because I've been still actually doing my art since 2010, and I just saw that people look at it if you have something behind it. If it's something, if you advocate for something, it's not just your painting for whatever. Because I don't know if it's the same at all, but with me, it's not my purpose to sell my paintings. So I was doing my art with an advocacy. It's not to sell them, but to change something, to make to raise the public's awareness about about the situation of women, not just the migrant women. But
Okay.
it's like what you asked. I think it's also quite hard, especially in Europe, if you are an artist. Yeah, but I think you really have to do also to apply for sponsorship or whatever if you really want to to become famous as an artist, or if you want to sell, because there are many artists here in Europe, and I think it's the same in the Philippines. Only those who have contacts, who are already famous, who even get more famous, or who get known. Otherwise, it's just, yeah. That's what I'm also trying to do, to exhibit with other artists, not just painters, but also, like for example, those photographers. And that's what I also did before in the Philippines, that like giving a platform for other artists to show what they do. So it's not just about my art, so it's not about selling. It's also like community building of not just artists, but also those who have the same advocacy.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, how do you compare it to the Philippines? I mean,
Yes.
if we're going to compare the life of an artist here in Europe and in the Philippines, how do you compare it?
I cannot say so much in the Philippines, but what I can see, it's usually just those who are in a group, who are just who have contact with the community, with the all government offices, with the galleries, who can make it up there. But otherwise, those who are below, because when I was in elementary school, I was joining a lot of competitions, art competitions. There were really a lot of artists, but it ends there, so they don't get promoted. So that's the thing also. It's also important in schools that people also get promoted, not just those who have contacts. And I think, I'm not sure here in Europe, it's because I'm not really active here as an artist in the artist community. I'm just active here as an artist in the NGOs, and I'm just applying my arts. But from what I hear, it's really also, basically, it's difficult everywhere. You have to have contacts, and you have to have the money, because because I've got a lot of offers already with galleries, they ask a lot of fees, and if I don't have the money, I cannot do it. So
I
you really
agree.
have the contacts. You should have the contacts and the money.
Yes, that's true. You need a sponsor.
Yes.
But of course, you have to definitely, because you have to book the gallery
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
the number of days that you're
Contacts and
there.
network.
You
yeah,
have to. There's so many. The management, ticketing, so you have to cover those fees. Anyway, Casey, me, I personally admire women who push boundaries, and I also join these advocacies. Of course, in your social work, you do this all the time. It's not only an advocacy; it's work for you. But what are some ways that you put yourself first? I mean, self care. What do you do for self care?
I see to it that in the whole year I already plan my vacation with my
Calendar.
colleagues, and also so that I will know. So I love to travel also alone because I have a child, and when I travel alone, that's the only time I feel I just think about myself, and
Yes,
I feel really good when I do it. That's
I
why
agree. I do that
some
too.
people
Like,
wonder, yeah, I wonder why I go alone if I'm meeting a guide. No, that's not my point. I
that's
travel
true.
to enjoy and to relax and not think about anyone else but myself. So
That's right.
I travel, and before I also used to go to the gym because I had a
Mhm.
backache, and
Mhm.
then yeah, I read some books because I think sometimes I also lose a lot of, especially with my English. I also need
Yes.
to learn. So this, I think sometimes, yeah, I also meet friends because it's also different. If after I meet friends, I get inspired again. So I don't really also like to be always alone. So it's different also to have friends once in a while, to meet up with friends once in a while to celebrate. Yeah.
Okay. You recently had an exhibit during the celebration of Women's Month. Could you tell us more about it?
You
Okay.
had an experience recently with the Philippine Embassy in Berlin, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Actually, it was the second version of what we did in November because in
Mhm.
June I had a solo exhibit in Berlin also with the same portraits. The first one from 2019 and the second one portraits was made because of our joint project with the Global Alliance Against Traffic in Women, in which we were doing a research for the integration and reintegration of Southeast Asian women in Europe and in their home country. And that's how I started creating the second series, the black and white or the monochromatic. I exhibited them in June, and then I did the same again in November, and that was this time that I asked three women who would share in their story live. So that's the first part, and the embassy was interested, so they asked us to do the same in March, last March, for the Women's Month. So I did also the same thing with those three women who are Filipina. So I
Mhm.
asked three Filipinas because it was at the Philippine Embassy, and that was what my aim to raise the public's awareness of the
Mhm.
situation of the Filipinas. And it was also good because one of these women is also really supporting the migrant Filipinas here in Berlin, and I really
Mhm.
want that some other Filipinas would do also the same in Germany because it's really hard because the NGOs cannot do everything,
Yeah.
and not every woman also goes to NGO for help. So it's really important to have this solidarity among us Filipinos and also with the Germans.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Okay.
So it
it
runs
will be
for
the
the
effort.
entire month of March, right, for the Women's Month. But can they still see these portraits, and are they for sale?
The exhibit already ended last March 31.
Mm. Yes.
But I will have another exhibit in July with a Thai artist.
Okay.
And
Okay.
usually I also hang these paintings in the counseling center of my NGO.
And are
So
they for sale, or they're just for exhibitions?
yeah, also sell them.
Okay, wonderful. Do you have like a website, or where can they keep in touch with you if they are interested to buy they want to know the prices and buy the portraits to
I
support
have,
your process, of course.
yeah, I have a Facebook page and also my Instagram.
Okay. So the portraits, ladies and gentlemen, are available if you want to see them on her Facebook. The socials is on her ticker. So just go to her Facebook page and Instagram account if you're interested to support the causes and advocacies for women empowerment of KC and women empowerment through art. So
Yeah,
yeah.
to talking about women empowerment and about inspiration, Casey, what kind of women do you look up to and turn to? And what was the lesson learned from these women that hit you really hard, let's say?
There are actually many of them.
The
So,
name of you, one or two.
first, of course, my mother, because she was really also a working mother. She was a teacher with 10 children. And if I imagine that I am working with one child, it's already very hard.
Exactly.
A powerhouse.
Right, I agree.
Yeah. And then secondly, I would say the women in my organization, colleagues, and also our clients, because I learned a lot from them with the German, how they assert themselves without being so I don't know, without you are allowed to talk, and that's what even when we are discussing, it's allowed to you are asked about your ideas, even when you, for example, I would usually say I'm just a language and cultural mediator, and I'm discussing there with a social worker or project coordinator, but it doesn't matter. So it's like it's level. They don't look at you, they don't look down at you. So they really value your ideas. And the clients also, it's like what I said a while ago, they really have these migrant stories that are really very hard. Some of them are victims of human trafficking, but then you look at them, you as if they don't have any problem at all. They go around wearing those colorful clothes. They do whatever they want. They don't show themselves as victims. So they go further. They grow further, and they don't allow other people to look down at them. And they also, I think it's also because of the German society, they become assertive also of their rights.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what's the goal in 3 to 5 years, Casey?
Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5 years. I was actually thinking, that's quite hard to say. I was always thinking about going back to the Philippines because I don't know, with my job here, I felt like I also want to support my sisters because I have 3 sisters, and I felt like I also want to support the women there because I think we have a lot of support system here in Germany, but in the Philippines it's very little. And in my work, we really specialize also in helping the household workers of diplomats. And most of the women who go abroad working as household workers come from the provinces like mine. And I felt like we need to do something so that most of these girls, especially the young ones, especially those young ones who get pregnant because they cannot do otherwise, and then they become breadwinners from the age of 17 or whatever, and they end up still working at the age of 60. I think it's really important that we also do something for them. It's not really concrete, but I really wish also that those who are already there would also do something like that. But for me myself, I don't know yet.
Casey, what's the most realistic advice that you'd want to share to women who are planning to be a migrant like yourself?
I think the most realistic would be to get yourself informed before you come here, because that's what we see also from many cases in our counseling, that most women come here and they don't know their rights or responsibilities, their duties. For example, I will just give a case. This marriage visa in Germany, there's a law you have to stay for 3 years, and if you just leave the house for 1 day, you will lose your visa when your husband reports you. And then There are cases like that. She became undocumented for many years just because of that, and most German guys know that. So it's really that's the most important. Have gather more information as much as possible and learn the language.
Yes, definitely. That's really very, very important here. I mean, um, it only applies when you have a higher degree
Mhm.
to really be in a company, lucky enough to be in a company who's English speaking or international company. But generally, you really need it here in
Yeah,
Germany.
So before traveling to Germany, you always have to follow the travel guidelines, and of course, the most important is to look up the DFA of
Yeah,
Germany
exactly.
um,
Get educated.
and update it
Really
always.
important and updated with the laws and what you need to do. Just be aware. It's your
Yeah.
responsibility because usually
Yeah.
they end up blaming other people or the government. But as a person, you also have a responsibility to yourself and to the
Yeah.
society. So do your due diligence as well. So anyway, Casey. So before we end our talk, of course, we would like to ask you a few fun questions that has nothing to do with your work.
Yes,
Okay.
these are questions that we ask our guests every
every
episode.
every episode we ask these questions.
For our first question, if you were a flavor, what would it be and why?
I think pistachio because I
Yeah.
love pistachio.
Nice. Okay.
I
Second
love it.
question.
Actually, pistachio.
Yeah.
The longer you eat them, the more the more you
Flavor
crave
comes
for
out.
them. Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
And
Initially
then,
dry, and then you start tasting the flavor. It gets better
Yeah.
and better. Yeah.
like,
So
that's
next
why.
question: if you have a superpower, what would it be?
Yeah, that's like what I mentioned before. I would really create a lot of jobs for Filipinas so they don't need to go away and leave their families while taking care of others' families.
No,
Yeah.
it's quite sad, really, that you have to move
It's
out from
really
the.
sad. Yeah, because I hear all their stories. It's really sad, but I cannot do anything.
That's right. Also, me, you can not just tear families apart. It's really heartbreaking. Children being left behind,
Mhm.
growing all alone, and it's economic. It's all breaks down to our economy.
Yeah.
It affects everyone. So, next question.
Yes, to our third question, if you were given a chance to speak to anyone living or dead, who would it be?
I think Michelle Obama. I bought one of her books, but then I cannot find time to read much of it, but I find it really interesting. So I think I would rather talk to her face to face
Yes.
because I think it's really also inspiring and very empowering.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, the success of the former President Obama is, he always recognizes his wife to being behind his power as well. So his strength. Okay. And final question: if you were to describe your life in a song right now, what would it be? And you have to sing a line or two.
Okay. Wait. I have to sing it?
So we know what song it is.
Okay. And I won't waste my life being typical. I'ma be original, even when it's difficult. And I won't change myself when they tell me no. I'ma be original. I think the lyrics is wrong. But it's just original from Sia.
Get the message, of
Very
course. Of
strong
course.
words.
Very good message. Yes, no matter what other people tell you, how bad you are, how ineffective you are, how uncreative you are, don't mind them. Just do what you do best for yourself and for
Exactly.
your happiness.
Yes. Be
Yes,
true to yourself.
that's right. Be true to yourself. Yes. So
Correct.
thank you very much, Casey, for accommodating us, for being
Thank
our
you for
guest for
being with
today.
us.
It was really an honor to finally showcase the women who are here in Europe who are trying to really make a difference. So I hope everyone most people usually just watch this after because some of them are out there. It's a weekend, but everyone who will be watching this, please do support the women who are in art, who are really working hard to raise our flag to the European community. So thank you very much, Casey, for
Thank
doing that.
you.
Wish you all the
Thank you
best
very much.
endeavors.
Casey, you have a nice day ahead.
Yes.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Thank you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye. Yes.
Yeah, I can totally relate with Casey. She's a mother, she's an artist, she also works at the same time, and there were so many things. Actually, her traveling alone was already self-care, right? She wanted to explore it by herself,
Yes.
showing that she's an independent woman. It's really a good advice for all the other women out there. If you really need to get out, just get out.
Yes.
And of course, you have to go back.
Yes, for work, or you are on home office and can take to work with you, especially now that it's getting a bit warmer and the cold season
Yeah,
is
it's more
hopefully
fun now to
passing
travel.
and the days are getting longer. So Italy is a nice place at this time. I just have some friends who are just taking their camper and just park next to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, for example.
Yes. And I hope, more people, more women will be inspired by Casey and also pursue their dreams in the art. Because in the Philippines, they don't really pursue art initially. They would always always pick a course that would be economical for the entire family, not for themselves, not for their happiness, but immediately they would choose nursing. Because they want to go abroad, want to go out of the country, and they want to help the family. But art is also very useful for other people because it's therapy. It's an expression of oneself, an expression of what's happening in the society.
Yes.
It's actually a recording of the
Yes.
events that's been going on. That's what is needed, for women, for children. You see it. Sometimes people are just being aware of issues because of the art that they
Yes,
see.
and they can identify themselves.
Exactly,
in
they
the
can
art
relate
that
to
is
it.
being displayed.
Yeah. And so our guest was really, we're honored to have her here today.
Yes,
She's
thank
been
you,
working
Casey.
really hard with the social community in Berlin and helping aid women and children and other people who needs help. So I hope next episode we are going to have a guest. She's a poet, an artist, and she will talk about her organization in the Philippines. So we're looking forward to that on next Sunday here on TalkAlley.
Yes, so and then for our sponsors, we would like to thank also Filipino business like Bayan Cargo and Pinoy online store. Check out their website via what's it again? I have to check. Yes, via filipino-business.de, or just drop them an email via welcome@filipino-business.de for more information. We would also like to thank our sponsor, SMDC. Every single day, SM touches the lives of millions of people through its stores, malls, banks, hotels, and leisure facilities. Now, Filipinos can live in style, comfort, and convenience with SM Development Corporation. So for more inquiries, please contact us here at TalkAlley by sending us a message. You may also email us at talkalley.original@gmail.com for more information.
A quick dip just outside.
Grocery needs? Just a short stroll.
Coming home just a ride away.
Live closer to the things that matter to you. Premier living within reach at Light 2 Residences from SMDC.
Yes, and we would like to thank our listeners and viewers for tuning in for this episode of TalkAlley. For the federal state of Hessen, this tomorrow, Monday, is the first week of the Easter holiday.
Yay.
Some federal states are maybe a bit shifted for a week, but just write us in the comment section below. How was your first week? Were you stuck in traffic on the Autobahn, for example?
Where are you going for vacation?
Yes.
We're interested.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the get to go?
Yeah, where are you going? And of course, if you're traveling, stay safe, drive safely,
Yes.
and yeah, be safe, everyone. So enjoy your travels, your holidays for the next week. And Mike,
Yes.
thank you, everyone.
Happy
for staying-
Sunday
yes.
and good start in next week for those who go vacation. Happy vacation. This is Mike
And I'm Maria.
and this is TalkAlley.
Bye.
Bye.